stop the fights, and stop the murders in the world. Let's change the world, 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 let's change the world. Let's just unite, let's stop the race and stop the fights and stop the murders in the world. We gotta change the world. Some don't know the effects they have on others when everything that we do affects our younger brothers and sisters. To me, it seems that the facts have missed us. Who will be there to reach down to hug and kiss us? Frankly, the current state that we're in needs to be discussed. Self-respect is a must. We need to tone down the lust, avoiding the fact that it provides a pleasant rush. But who in this world can you trust? The answer to that is yourself. Don't take what that man says off the bat. Pick that book up off the shelf. That don't mean not to trust. That means to take what he said, think about it, and then come back and discuss. Let's change the world, 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 let's change the world.
What's good?
Let's just unite, let's stop the race and stop the fights and stop the murders in the world. Let's change the world, 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 let's change the world. Let's just unite, let's stop the race and stop the fights and stop the murders.
Hit the like button.
We gotta change the world.
Hit the like button for me, Leilani. Hit the like button.
For the boys and the girls, because if we don't change it up, we're gonna make it in this world. We need to focus on the present and think less about the past, cause if we keep it up like this, then that's gonna be our fucking ass. You gotta know just where you're coming from to get where you're going. So get on your search for knowledge, cause there's power in knowing. We need to pick up more books and read them cover to cover, and after you get the information, pass it to your brother. Spread it to the whole world. If you know it ain't fair, you'll be surprised the difference in this world that one man can make. It's good and bad in everybody, but you gotta bounce it out. And if we all found that, we change the world, no doubt. Let's change the world, 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 let's change the world. Let's just unite, let's stop the race and stop the fights and stop the murders in the world. Let's change the world, 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 let's change the world. Let's just unite, let's stop the race and stop the fights and stop the murders in the world. We gotta change the world.
What's good, y'all? What's good? It's your big homie, Big Bayday, man, and this is the Real Talk, Real Shit podcast. It's one of the only places on YouTube, online, anywhere where you can get the real deal, Holyfield. Let's get it. Let's get it, man. I hope everybody's doing all right tonight, man. I appreciate everybody for stopping in. Leilani, I love you. I love you. Appreciate you, sweetheart. I love you so much, man. It's a beautiful night. Hope everybody's doing good on this night, man. It's a as you've seen on the topic of tonight's show, man, I got to talk about the Diddy situation, man. Man. So for those who don't know, P Diddy is a well-known rapper. You know what's going on with P Diddy. If you don't know, P Diddy's a well-known producer. He's not even a rapper. I'm so sorry. He's a well-known record producer and like a record label owner who has been in business since the early 90s or late 80s, actually. He's been in the business since the late 80s. He was a backup dancer for a rap group back in the day. Woo woo. All right. Long story short, Diddy's been accused and has been a few lawsuits have been filed against him for sexual assault. Right? We all know, if you don't know, P Diddy, he got 2 lawsuits filed against him for SA, right? And one of the lawsuits, a few lawsuits, and one of the lawsuits he settled with Cassie, one of his old artist / old girlfriend, fling, or whatever you called it. He had Cassie for years. If you listen to the music she made, you could hear how he had her for a long time. Now, I'm not gonna get on here and bash Diddy. What I am going to do is present information, and I'm going to go off of that. I'm not here to demonize Diddy because I know just like everybody else who knows anything knows, P Diddy is just doing what he was learned. P Diddy was just practicing learned behavior. He's not anything special or an exception to the rules, man. He's just doing what he was learned to do. He's just passing that game of booty tag down. That's all he's doing. I'm not here to talk shit about the man, because let me explain something to you. If he's doing whatever he's doing with grown-ups, that ain't got nothing to do with nobody, bro. If he's whopping dudes, that ain't got nothing to do with nobody. If he's whopping women, a bunch of women, and whopping them out and then making them do a bunch of stuff, that ain't got nothing to do with nobody. He has the right. Everybody has the right, the sexual right, to consensually be with who you want to be with on this planet, right? And we all know Diddy, they're saying allegedly he was filming the sex, he was filming himself, he was filming himself having sex, right? We all know that. So it's not illegal to film yourself having sex. What is illegal is to do anything harmful, illicit, or disrespectful, or non-consensual. That's what's illegal. All right. If he got 100 million sex tapes where it's a bunch of grown-ups having consensual sex, then there's nothing nobody could do about this, and we need to mind our own business. But like I keep telling y'all, there's a definite agenda that's going on right now to dismantle, discredit, and disenfranchise these big celebrities. Somebody is trying to take them all out the game. A lot of people don't realize this. A lot of people might not see it like this, but this is exactly what's going on. Despite however you might think, if you sit back and look at it, zoom out a little bit and look at it, somebody's trying to get Diddy in them. Not just P Diddy. Somebody's trying. And look, the powers that be have been getting rid of weirdos for the last 4 or 5 years. When Donald Trump was in office, he locked up hundreds of sexual predators. And I'm thankful for that, especially as a father. He locked up hundreds of sexual predators. You know, we're thankful for this shit. So this has been going on for a long time now. This is not a new thing that's happening. This whole dismantling of taking down sexual predators has been going on for a long time, ever since the Bill Cosby's. You know, then the whole Me Too movement came out with Terry Crews and stuff, and said Harvey Weinstein was grabbing his genitals and all this shit. And then a bunch of other people came out against Harvey Weinstein, and guess what? They locked him up. But we all know, let me show y'all something. We all know, if you're paying attention to anything, let me show y'all something.
Breaking news, New York's Court of Appeals has just overturned Harvey Weinstein's 2020 conviction on felony sex crime charges. This case sparked Hollywood's Me Too movement. According to the New York Times, the court found the judge made a mistake by allowing prosecutors to call witnesses who were not part of the case. These women accused Weinstein of assaulting. Breaking news, New York's Court of Appeals.
Okay, here we go. I'm hooked up to the sound.
Breaking news, New York's Court of Appeals has just overturned Harvey Weinstein's 2020 conviction on felony sex crime charges. This case sparked Hollywood's Me Too movement. According to the New York Times, the court found the... Breaking news, New York's Court of Appeals has just overturned Harvey Weinstein's 2020 conviction on felony sex crime charges. This case sparked Hollywood's Me Too movement. According to the New York Times, the court found the judge made a mistake by allowing prosecutors to call witnesses who were not a part of the case. These women accused Weinstein of assaulting them, but those accusations were not part of the charges against him. The appeals court determined Weinstein did not receive a fair trial because of this. Now, this does not mean Weinstein is now out of jail. Manhattan's district attorney could seek a retrial, and Weinstein is still in prison after he was convicted of raping a woman in a Beverly Hills hotel.
All right, so there you have it. This whole P Diddy situation came after the 2020 Me Too movement that got sparked off with Harvey Weinstein. Terry Crews was going around saying what happened to him. Harvey Weinstein grabbed his genitals and assaulted him, and then a few other women said that, and then an actual woman said he RAP'd her, you know. And so they gave him whatever sentence they gave him, but he served about 3.5 or 3 and some years, almost 4 years. So right now, 2024, just that was 3-4 days ago, they acquitted him of his trial, of his charges. And like the lady said, that don't mean he's not that don't mean he's out of jail, but those charges been dropped. So this whole movement, this whole Me Too movement was sparked. What's up? This whole Me Too movement was sparked because of the Harvey Weinstein situation. He fucked around, like I said, he fucked around and was either used to spark this up, or he was just targeted. He was just targeted, and what happened now, we have all these people. After the Me Too, after the Harvey Weinstein, you had the Jeffrey Epstein come out. After Jeffrey Epstein, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, all kind of people. This is not just a one, like I keep telling y'all. This is not just a one-layer thing. This is an onion. This is an onion that's being peeled open. So I got something I want to show y'all, and we're gonna read it, watch this shit together, because this Diddy situation is a whole can of worms, man. They keep trying to put this shit on Diddy, like they keep trying to, like I said yesterday in my live, protect your image, right? If you don't protect your image, or it wasn't yesterday, it was the last live I did. If you don't protect your image, somebody else can control your narrative. And if somebody else can paint the picture for you, then they could paint your picture however they want to paint it. You get what I'm saying? So let me play this. This is a law and crime video that hold on. It's a law and crime video I want y'all to see real quick. Let's go. Oh, let me turn the sound on, my bad.
Academy Award winners. We're breaking
All right.
down all the A-list celebrities named in court
And let me look before this starts. Hold up. Before this starts.
First of all,
Before this video starts, I want y'all to understand. I keep telling y'all, this is not just P Diddy. This ain't, they're just trying to bring down P Diddy. This is a multi-layer onion of P Diddy being spearheaded, used as the face to discredit and bring down a bunch of people. All right, because let me explain something to you. They're on P Diddy's ass like this and that, but what about them 250 people on the Jeffrey Epstein list? What about the 250 top celebrities, entertainers, actors, royalty, princesses, governors, presidents? Everybody was there. What about them people? Oh, we forgot about that, but we want to demonize P Diddy. Protect y'all's image, people.
that entire filing was just gasp for it. I'm not seeing a scenario where he can escape liability, criminal liability. He's been known for years as a
All right, let's go.
So I think we're about to see something on the level of Epstein, Weinstein to the power of 10. From members of the royal family to Grammy and Academy Award winners, we're breaking down all the A-list celebrities named in court docs against P Diddy, along with some startling accusations. I mean, first of all, that entire filing was just gasp work. I'm not seeing a scenario where he can escape liability, criminal liability. He's been known for years as a renowned rapper, producer, and label executive who goes by the names P Diddy, Puff Daddy, or his legal name, Sean Combs. Whatever name you want to call him, he's no stranger to legal troubles. Just this week, both Diddy's homes in Miami and Los Angeles were raided by Homeland Security. According to former prosecutor Melba Pearson, they're likely looking for some specific evidence. The feds are doing raids at 3 different homes of P. Diddy, including his homes in California, in Florida, and in New York. And what I think they're looking for are videos. So basically, P. Diddy had a habit, allegedly, based on told to us through the filings by Cassie Ventura. They have all said that the habit, either him I think they're looking for other types of evidence to corroborate the statements that were made by Little Rod, by Cassie Ventura, and the other people have come forward saying that he did abuse them. So they're looking for corroborating evidence and basically the building blocks to put together what will end up being a massive, massive, massive criminal case. So far, Diddy hasn't been arrested, but he has already faced his fair share of legal issues. Last year, Diddy's ex-girlfriend on video. She also says he forced her to carry a gun. Cassie sued him under New York's Adult Survivors Act and settled with Diddy outside of court just 1 day after the suit was filed. Joy Dickerson-Neal also filed suit against Diddy under the Adult Survivors Act, accusing him of drugging and sexually assaulting her back in 1991 when she was a college student at Syracuse University. Diddy was slammed with yet another lawsuit last month, this time brought on by music producer Rodney Jones, also known as Lil also claims Diddy himself assaulted Lil Rod. But that's not the only bombshell allegations revealed in the detailed documents. Lil Rod doesn't shy away from publicly naming other celebrities he says assaulted him. I don't know that Cuba Gooding Jr. is going to escape from that one. Let's start with the allegations against Academy Award-winning actor Cuba Gooding Jr. Lil Rod alleges Diddy was, quote, grooming him to pass him off to his friends. This fear became reality when Mr. Combs introduced Mr. Jones to Cuba Gooding Jr. when they were on Mr. Combs' yacht. There's actually photos of their interaction together, too, which are laid out in those court documents. In the first pic, you see Diddy and Cuba talking with Diddy's arms on Cuba's. In the next pic, Cuba has his arm around Lil Rod and is smirking. Court docs go on to state, quote, Cuba Gooding Jr. began touching, groping, and fondling Mr. Jones's legs, his inner thighs near his groin, the small of his back near his buttocks, and his shoulders. He rejected his advances, and Mr. Gooding Jr. did not stop until Mr. Jones forcibly pushed him away. In the last couple of years, there were allegations against him for sexual assault. So now we had those prior allegations, and now we see him tied to this case as allegedly trying to, assault a Little Rod, assault others. Back in 2019, Cuba was booked on misdemeanor charges of forcible touching and sexual abuse after he allegedly groped a woman in Times Square. By the next year, 3 women had come forward accusing him of non-consensual sexual touching. He eventually reached a deal with prosecutors that required 6 months of counseling but no jail time.
Let me pause it right there. Let me pause that. Let me pause that right there. Let me pause it right there, because do you see what's going on? Do you see what's going on? Cuba Gooding, I thought you was talking about P Diddy. Now, Cuba Gooding Jr., I know he's a part of the lawsuit. I understand that. But like I told y'all, this is a multi-layered onion. This ain't just Diddy. This is anybody who was around, anybody who was involved, and anybody who... What? Hey, go ahead, bro. I love you too. This is a multi-layered onion. And let me show y'all something. The Adult Survivors Act. Let me show y'all something before I go. Keep letting them talk. The Adult Survivors Act. Watch this, y'all. I hope y'all heard them talking about the Adult Survivors Act on there. Look, the Adult Survivors Act is New York state legislation enacted in May 2022, which amends state law to allow alleged victims of sexual offense for which the statute of limitations has lapsed to file civil suits for a 1 year period from November 22 to 2022 to November 24, 2022 to November 24, 2023. So notice these people are only filing civil lawsuits. They're only filing lawsuits. So this law, let me see, this Adult Survivors Act was passed in 2022 to give victims, which is, I'm not mad at people speaking, having voice, victims having voices, but it gave victims of sexual assault the right and ability to come back after the statute of limitations, which means the crime has been done and it's past the time to be prosecuted for it. They allowed them to come back for 1 year and file lawsuits. And what are we witnessing right now? A bunch of people filing lawsuits. This is all about the Adult Survivors Act. So let's see who passed this. In 2002, the ASA was enacted. The bill was sponsored by Senator Brad Hoylman and Assembly Member Linda Rosenthal. It unanimously passed in the Senate in April 2022, passed the Assembly on a 140-3 vote. So that's 140 people to 3 people who didn't vote for it in May 2022. And was signed into law by Governor Kathy Hochul. So this just 2022 got signed into a law. So this was a systematic plan for people to come in and try to come back and get people. You know what I mean? Y'all have to watch the laws that are passed, and you have to watch the people who are passing the laws, man. Here we go.
There's fire, right? Because now we have 2 different instances where you're accused of the same type of behavior, years apart. I think there's something there. And I don't know that Cuba Gooding Jr. is going to escape from that one, because he already saw definitely people moving away from him within Hollywood circles and other circles once those first sexual assault allegations came out. So at this point, I don't think he's going to get away with it a second time.
Is it possible that he could face charges based on these allegations that were brought forward by Lil Rod?
It is possible as well.
And look,
again, we've
hold
got
on,
this
hold on. Please pay attention to who they're using to spearhead these allegations. They're using these single Black women. I keep telling everybody, the government was so raw and so smart that they used Black women to be the face of America this time around. And what we've been going through this for since this president, Joe Biden's been in office, America's been collapsing and going on a decline. So if you correlate who's the face of it, with the decline, you could blame it on the black people now again, or just, you know, they're the ones who have to deal with it. Like the president of Yale, that lesbian lady who they had, and they, like I keep telling y'all, they made black women the face of the American government this time around, right? They made the black women do the dirty work of the government this time around. They gave them the top speaker positions, the top house positions, the top, like Ketanji Brown, that black lady who gets on the TV for Joe Biden with the curly afro, and she speaks up for him. And a lot of times it's laughable, Ketanji Brown speaking, because she can't defend this shit. She says so much to try to defend Joe Biden, but it never even adds up, because a lot of the shit that he does doesn't even make sense. So like I keep saying, they hired and are using black women to be the face of the destruction of America. And y'all don't witness that either. And you see it as empowerment for these black women to have these high position jobs, but they're just using them to destroy and bring down America. Or America's their women are not doing it. They're just the ones who are the face of it while it's happening. Just like when Obama got America, Obama inherited America that was so fucked up after 9/11 and George Bush and his war and all that. So his cousin. George Bush, Obama inherited America that was fucked up after George Bush, and he was the face of America. So everybody was able to talk shit about Barack Obama during his time, like he was the cause of it. So keep noticing that they're using black people to be the face of America at its downturn. So it's kind of fucked up when we have those people. When we get people in position, it seems like it's good, but they're just being really blamed for and used as the face of downturn. You know what I mean? All right.
Statute of limitations issue to deal with. So depending on the time frame of when this happened is, again, the Adult Survivors Act, which was the vehicle where many of these lawsuits came out, many of these civil suits came out, there was a finite amount of time for those suits to be filed. The time frame is going to be very, very important. What witnesses come forward, because again, this may not be a situation where DNA may be at play. This may be more of a situation of, hey, yes, I was there and I recall, Cuba Gooding Jr., putting his hands on Lil Rod, or I recall certain aspects. So it's going to be a very witness-intensive type of case. And the question is, will the witnesses be willing to come forward?
Lil Rod's lawsuit also publicly named another celebrity linked to Diddy, Jennifer Lopez.
From the standpoint of the names of the celebrities that were tied to this, the fact that Jennifer Lopez was tied to this back when she was involved in or party to a shooting at a nightclub when she was dating Diddy, and is now alleged to have brought the gun with her to the scene and gave it to Diddy, and that's how the shooting occurred.
Lil Rod's team brings up J-Lo when establishing Diddy's history, writing his, quote, Rico enterprise has existed for at least 20 years, dating back to the 1999 nightclub shooting in NYC, when Mr. Combs required his then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez to transport his illegal firearm into the NYC nightclub. The court docs allege Diddy forced his then-artist Shine to assume responsibility for the shooting of several individuals. All this happened back on December 27th, 1999, when a fight broke out at a nightclub. Diddy, J-Lo, and rapper Shine were all there, and according to former rapper Mark Curry, Diddy paid Shine $1 million to take the fall for the shooting and serve a 10-year prison sentence. Lil Rod's lawsuit now suggests it was J-Lo who brought the gun. The fact that she is named as somebody who was carrying a weapon, could that be incriminating for Jennifer Lopez?
It can be, but with a huge caveat.
Hold up. Because I hate these nosy ass people who just, their life is paying attention to celebrities and shit like that. That shit is crazy. Only reason I pay attention to the celebrities like I do is because they're an important part of our society, and they impact our future and our children so bad. That's the only reason I touch on it. But this shit just, it irks me to watch this type of this shit. But I have to play it, and let's go.
If I'm not mistaken, that shooting did not result in a death. I know that somebody was harmed, but I don't believe anyone was killed. Because of that, you have the statute of limitations to deal with, which is basically a prolonged amount of a certain amount of time that a prosecutor has to be able to bring charges against someone. And it varies from state to state. But the one thing is consistent is that there is no statute of limitations on murder.
Yeah.
So if P. Diddy had actually killed this person, or the person died as a result of
you hear
injury,
this?
now J-Lo could be brought into the mix as a co-defendant because of.
I know she's trying to explain legal ramifications and stuff, but it sounds like she has a hard on for Diddy to come down. It definitely sounds like she has a hard on or agenda for Diddy to come down, because if you're reporting something, you're supposed to report it fairly. If you're reporting on something, you're supposed to report it fairly. If you, like, sometimes I report on shit and it pisses me off, so I get in my feelings and I might yell or might cuss or something, but I still try to remain fair when I report on shit. Like, I'm trying not to express my opinions about this damn lady right here, because I already know what she's about. If you pay attention, you can see the rainbows in the back of her. She got 2 rainbow flags behind her. And I'm not against these people, but when the rainbow agenda has an agenda to destroy the normalcy of society, you know, so I'm not here to hate on them as a people. I respect people who are respectable, but the rainbow agenda has an agenda to destroy.
Because of the fact that the person has passed away. But if the person is alive, and maybe not have any criminal liability.
Same shit.
But the reputational damage on Jenny from the Block. She was, dating a variety of hip hop artists. She was very much in that world. Now she's married to Ben Affleck. She's trying to, portray herself in a different manner. So now her past is going to come back to haunt her. And we don't know what that's going to mean for her future in terms of movie deals, music deals, or anything like that. So I think for her, it might be more reputational damage than criminal liability.
Pearson says it's possible Jennifer Lopez could file some sort of defamation suit, but it's not likely.
Look,
she could, but at the end of the day, when it comes to defamation and those types of cases, truth is an absolute defense. So if he has some sort of receipts to basically prove that, hey, I was right there, I saw her the same way in the filings, you saw a number of different screenshots and pictures that he submitted to support the different points that he was making. If he has some pictures to substantiate that she was carrying the gun, it is going to be very hard for her to say in good conscience in a court of law that, this wasn't true, he's made this up, and now as a result, I've lost, money, I've lost opportunities and things like that. There's going to be too much evidence out there connecting her to this that is going to be very hard for a jury to come back and say, yeah, he's making all of this up.
But it's not just artists that Lil Rod named either. He specifically mentioned Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, in his court documents. It reads in part, quote, Mr. Combs was known for throwing the best parties, affiliation with and or sponsorship of Mr. Combs' sex trafficking parties garnered legitimacy and access to political figures, artists, musicians, and international dignitaries like British Royal Prince Harry. Why even name Prince Harry? There's no allegations against him or anything, but why bring him up?
I think it may have been a move to bring more credibility to the filing and say that, basically he being Diddy, was using his fame, fortune, and influence to insulate himself. So he was able to legitimize some of the activities he was doing by having these lavish horrible things were happening. So the fact that Prince Harry was there does not necessarily mean he was participating in what was happening. And just because you're at a party doesn't mean you know what's happening in every inch of the house. I mean, if you think about it, if the party's being thrown in a mansion, there are various floors and wings. So it is completely possible that he was there and did not participate. Now, you had said Prince Andrew, especially as a result of the allegations that came out in connection with the Epstein case, that they were close and that they traveled together, and there was a person that alleged that he had sexually assaulted her while she was underage. That would be a different story. But Prince Harry and the way that it was mentioned seemed to be very, again, just sort of trying to bring legitimacy and talk about these were the people that Diddy surrounded himself by to protect himself.
So Prince Harry has no formal accusations against him, but the name association could cause damage to his reputation. Even so, Pearson says it's not likely he files any sort of defamation.
I gotta stop it there. Because this is what I was talking about, protecting your image, y'all. Do you see how they're trying to drag Diddy through the mud so bad? Like he's just a demon, like he's just a devil. Like, oh, Prince Harry's name could go bad because he's associated with Diddy. Fuck. The fact that he's at Diddy's party lets you know Diddy's pull and Diddy's power. Because ain't no Prince Harry pulling up to everybody's party. So I don't know what these people are thinking and saying. They're just really trying to defame Sean P. Diddy Combs. They're trying to demoralize and make P. Diddy look bad, because I'm going to keep it 100. If P. Diddy, like I said in the beginning of my video, if P. Diddy was messing with kids, they would have already had a fucking a police arrest warrant for him. He was fucking grown people. There's no law to say you can't fuck a grown person. If you take advantage, that is wrong. That is illegal. But if they consensually, you put that camera on, they consensually let you, whatever y'all did together, and you was high, drunk, whatever you was feeling like, don't matter. Ain't nobody tell you to sip that pink cocaine, that liquid cocaine. Ain't nobody tell you to sip that. To sip that Diddy juice, that Ciroc. That's why I'm gonna tell y'all some real shit. I never liked Ciroc, because all my street dudes, know Ciroc is not the vibe if you're a straight man. Everybody knows that. Yo, chill out. Everybody knows that. Ciroc, you don't drink Ciroc if you're a straight man. You just don't do it. I'm just telling you. I don't know what it is about Ciroc, but I never just drunk Ciroc or Douce either. Don't drink Douce. Every time my niggas drink Douce, they flip out and do some crazy shit. See, because y'all, I'm explaining something to y'all. Alcohol comes from the word algul, the Latin word algul, which means a body-eating spirit. Alcohol is a body-eating spirit. When you go to the ABC store, it's called the ABC Spirit Store. It's called the ABC Spirit Store. When you get a bottle of alcohol, some bottles say neutral spirits. Some bottles say pure spirit, 100% pure spirits. Some bottles say neutral, some bottles say 100% pure spirits. AKA, it's spiritual warfare. It's a demon. You ever seen the genie in the bottle? That's what alcohol is. Alcohol's the genie in the bottle. Because once you keep drinking and rubbing that bottle and keep drinking and drinking and drinking it, that genie's gonna come up out of that bottle and come inside you. And if you have a whatever you got inside you, is gonna come out of you too. So if you got love, when you're drunk, you're gonna come out, have drunk come out. Drunk love come out. If you have hate in you when you get drunk, you're gonna have hate drunk come out. If you have lust in you, lust will come out. Whatever spirit you possess, alcohol will amplify that spirit. That's why everybody's not. I don't like to drink alcohol like that. I like to drink coffee and juices and shit, you know. But back to the damn topic, because I was thinking about that because P Diddy got that pink cocaine with the bottles. P Diddy got bottles of what they call liquid cocaine, and it would be a bottle of alcohol in the sealed up alcohol, and he would have it and give it to people. You crack it open, pop the bottle, and you sipping it, and your ass, you just out of there. And they bring you in the room and buck up, and then you wake up in the next morning and they got footage. And then the next be like, bro, what? Don't act funny, bro. It's all good, bro. Look, what, bro? Yeah, man. It's last night, bro. It was good. You enjoyed yourself. You gonna see yourself on the video. You gonna turn your ass to a donkey on that motherfucker. And then they be like, well, damn, boy, you did already turn me into a donkey. Well, give me some money then. This shit, I don't know how it works. I'm just speculating at this point. This is alleged talking. I don't know how it works, but I'm just saying, that's what they're saying. He got tapes of everybody. He's hee-hawing. Drink that pink liquid. That's why I tell people, don't be drinking everything you see. Don't smoke everything you see. Don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. I'm trying to tell you. You'll fuck around and hit the wrong drug. Even nowadays with the fentanyl crisis. Aside of the P Diddy pink liquid cocaine, the fentanyl crisis. They're saying fentanyl's in weed. They're saying fentanyl's in, well, I know they're saying fentanyl's in coke. Fentanyl's in heroin. Fentanyl's all throughout the streets. Because niggas can't afford real dope, but they can afford fent because a brick of fent is probably way cheaper. I don't know the price because I don't sell drugs. But I can imagine that a brick of fentanyl is way cheaper than a brick of dope. I can imagine. Way cheaper. So you take some dope, you take a little bit of dope. Come on now. You take a little bit of dope and a brick of fent, and you cut it, and you got them. You know what I mean? And I'm not telling nobody to sell drugs because it's no good to sell drugs, but I'm saying don't do drugs nowadays. It's terrible. Don't drink alcohol, don't smoke, don't do nothing. Nowadays, we're living in a time, y'all, where it's best to be a square. SpongeBob SquarePants. Please listen to me. SpongeBob SquarePants. It's best to be like that because if you have vices, I need a cigarette, money. I need a cigarette. I need this, I need that. You know what I'm saying? If you got too many vices, somebody can catch you slipping. Catch that fentanyl pack, and it'll be over for you, you know? I just wanted to say, man, P Diddy's proving this shit, y'all. He's proving it. I'm gonna let this keep playing, man. I'm gonna shut up. P Diddy's proving this shit, man. They're calling out their top goons to break Diddy, boy.
Him and the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, have been through. I really hope that, he's able to completely distance himself, maybe make a statement, because again, since he's not necessarily under the umbrella of the royal family directly, so in other words, Buckingham Palace would not be releasing a statement on his behalf. It would be him releasing a statement and saying, yes, I went to X party, but no, I never engaged in any inappropriate behavior or other details that he may see fit to share. So that's going to be, we're going to have to wait and see on that one. But again, since it was such a minuscule mention in the greater context of this filing, he may be okay.
Pearson compares Prince Harry's association with that of President Bill Clinton, who'd been seen with Jeffrey Epstein before his arrest.
And there didn't seem to be much said around him actually engaging in activities, more that he was present at the parties. So I don't recall seeing a lot of fallout on the part of President Clinton from that association.
Speaking of Epstein, Lil Rod's court docs draw a parallel between Diddy's alleged crimes and Jeffrey Epstein's. Epstein died by suicide back in 2019 when he faced numerous charges of sexual assault over the course of multiple years. His longtime companion, Ghislaine Maxwell, was charged and found guilty of sex trafficking in relation to her time with Epstein. She's currently serving out a lengthy prison sentence. Lil Rod compares Diddy's chief of staff, Christina Cahorum, to Ghislaine Maxwell, saying she ordered sex workers and prostitutes for Mr. Combs and ordered and distributed ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, and mushrooms to Mr. Combs and his celebrity guests who were present on his rented yacht and in his homes in LA, NYC, and Miami.
None of these cases,
Hold up.
when you have these high-profile people that have been using people.
Hold up, let me tell y'all something. They was getting that motherfucker getting turned. That motherfucker said ketamine, DAT, woo mushroom. Boy, they was in that motherfucker getting turned. They in there getting turned. Then that motherfucker. Dun, 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 dun. Y'all having a good time? Dun, 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 dun. Motherfucker. Let me shut up, bruh. Yo, I ain't never ever took all them drugs they said. Oh my God, they in that bitch turned.
People over years. These cases happen without a handler. R. Kelly had a handler. You know, Epstein had a handler. Weinstein had a handler. Everybody has, in those scenarios of those powerful people, powerful men that are abusing other people, they have someone that does their dirty work. And it's usually not only just one person, it's several people who may have different duties. So again, you know, seeing this woman being his handler, being the person to get him drugs, being the person to procure sex workers for him, being the person to basically be on cleanup duty in case of, you know, covering up or silencing people that might want to come forward, you know, that's not unusual. And she is also going to bear the brunt of criminal liability, just like Ghislaine Maxwell did, and basically had to take the entire brunt of the criminal justice system alone because of the fact that, you know, Epstein committed suicide and was not able to be held accountable. And
according to Pearson, Diddy and many of his associates will likely face federal charges, but it's not totally clear when. And what do you think a timetable would look like for all of that? I know that there's a lot of evidence to gather over many years, but is it possible that a federal indictment could be just around the corner?
I would hesitate to say just around the corner, because with all of the experience I've had with his office approaches cases, they do not move until they have you fully, like they have you dead to rights, basically. Yep. So they are going to take their time. They're going to collect all the evidence. They're going to speak to as many witnesses as they can. They're going to follow every single trail, every single lead that they can before they go to an indictment. There can be continuances. There can be other things that can delay the case. But once you file that charging document, the clock starts ticking. So that, you know, when I was a prosecutor, I always advised my detectives, anybody that I was training, that you get all the evidence you can up front, and then you file charges.
So when is it possible that we would actually see him being arrested or facing any of these indictments? Could it be months down the line?
I feel that it would be months down the line. I would not be surprised if it was before the end of this year. Because again, this is going to be a massive investigation involving at least 3 states, much as we saw in the Epstein case, where he was bringing underage girls to one of his islands in the Caribbean. And there have been some allegations of things happening on planes, things happening on trips. So there may be additional locations that may need to be searched and additional witnesses that may need to be spoken to in order to get a full picture for what charges would be appropriate and what would be the best path forward with this case.
And it's possible Diddy serves a lengthy prison sentence for all this if he were to be convicted in criminal court. if this does happen, that P. Diddy is indicted. I know in R. Kelly, we saw quite a large sentence for him. What could P. Diddy be facing if he is convicted of eventual indictments?
Yeah, well, it all depends on what charges are brought and how many counts of each charge is brought, right? Because for each
that's enough.
Charge is usually one
that's enough.
victim
You see,
or survivor
they're trying to
attached to that charge. So if
P. Diddy, they on your ass, boy. They're on your ass. They got their top goons. They got their top people on your ass, boy. They let you do that shit for so long. Now they on your ass, boy. Hey, I appreciate everybody for tuning in, tapping in. It be weird shit going on. It be weird shit going on. No, that window. But y'all hold it down. I'm gonna holler at y'all. It's your big homie, Big Bad A. Real Talk, Real Shit podcast. What's wrong, y'all? I know y'all having fun.